Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's Burning Clay, and I am back with another One Piece trading card game video. Now, if you are here, that means that you are a fan of the One Piece trading card game, or you hope to be a fan, I should say, of the One Piece trading card game, and you are looking for some news about the game that is being released in Japan in July. Well, last week we got this nice little nugget. If you see it on the screen here, this is the rules and the flow of the game of One Piece. Now, it was originally released in Japanese. We had a fantastic guy that was able to go through, translate everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working our way through this little pamphlet here and start figuring out how we play One Piece. So before we can even get into playing, we have to assemble our deck. Now, each deck is going to have one leader card. Then you're going to have a deck of 50 cards colored to the same color as your leader card. Now, you can use up to 4 of the same card numbers in one deck. So you can have, say, 4 Zoro cards that are the exact same number. It tends to be a pretty common rule amongst most TCGs. Now, your deck is going to be made up of 3 types of cards. You're going to have your character card, your event card, and a stage card. Character cards are obviously going to be your primary way of attempting to deal damage to the other player. Your event cards, kind of an effect card, a trap card if you will, and then your stage cards have been best described as sort of your land if you're thinking of, say, like Magic the Gathering. Now, along with your 50 card deck, you're also going to have a side deck made up of 10 Don cards, which we'll get into a little bit more detail in a little bit. Alright, so now we have our deck. Let's get ready to play, right? So first what you're going to do, it says well-mixed deck and Don. So I'm going to say that means that you're going to shuffle your Don deck and your playing deck pretty well, and you're going to place your deck in its proper place. So as you can see towards the bottom, it has a nice map of the play area and how everything looks. You have your Don deck in the bottom left, and then on the right it looks like you have your your deck that you're going to draw from in the middle, and then you have your trash underneath that. Up top you have your character area where you will play your characters. You have your stage area below that next to your deck. You also have your leader area in the middle of the map. And then at the bottom is your cost area, which is where the Don will go. Now, once you have your deck shuffled and in place, you will take your leader card and place them in play. You will draw 5 cards from the top of your deck, and that will be your starter hand. Now, they will have a mulligan in this game from what I understand, but if you mulligan, you have to redraw all 5 cards. It's not like you can pick and choose which cards you want to try to get rid of. You literally have to go and get a fresh 5 from that. Now, from that, after you have your starting hand, then you will draw from the top of your deck the life of your leader and place it face down in the life category. So that's going to be your far left section above your Don deck. And this is going to act like, for me, I relate it to Digimon. That's the one card game other than the One Piece game that I do play currently. And that's going to be like your security if it was Digimon. Now, the number of life that you're able to put down is determined, I should say, by your leader card. So your leader cards are going to apparently vary the amount of life that they have. So if you have a card that has 5 life, then you will place 5 cards there. If it is 4, you will place 4, and so on and so forth. And then after you have everything set up, you start the turn of the first player, which we will get into next. All right, so your first player, what they are going to do is they are going to basically draw. You won't worry about the refresh phase until you actually get into the game past each player's first turn. Now your draw phase, just as it says, you're going to take the top card from your deck and add it to your hand. Next comes the Don phase. On the Don phase, you will take 2 of your Don cards and place them in the cost area. Now, on your first turn, or the first player's first turn, they can only place 1 Don card in the Don area rather than 2. Once the second player goes, they'll be able to start with the 2 Don cards. From there, you will go into your main phase. And in your main phase, what you'll be able to do is you will be able to play your cards. Now, this will obviously be determined a lot by how much Don that you have. If you don't have enough Don to be able to play or pay for the cost of your cards, then obviously you cannot pay. Now, once you have your card played, then you can actually attach Don to that card or to your leader card. And then what this allows you to do is then power up that character card or your leader card. From what I understand, most of the Dons are plus 1,000. I don't think there's anything special about Dons other than the 1,000 power boost, but then I think there's going to be something in there that I'm still curious as far as how you attach. Like, is there a limit to how much that you can attach, or can you just attach all your Dons? You do take the risk of, if the card leaves the field, then the Don is back to the cost area. It is back and rested. So at that point, you can no longer actually use it again on that turn. Then you'll go into any card effects, and you will be able to satisfy your cards as they go by. It has the order that you will do that in, and then you will actually go into the attack. Now, the attack is pretty straightforward. If you've played most TCGs, you know about this. You will basically tap or rest your card, turning it sideways, and you will specify which target you are actually going to attack on your opponent's side. If your opponent has any blockers, which apparently they will have cards that have blockers, they can then take that and use the ability to try to protect one of their characters or their leaders. And then we'll have these nice counter cards, which is going to be a fun aspect of the game, in my opinion, where you can play this at any point from your hand to try to counter what your opponent is doing. And then you will finally go into the damage step. And then it looks like it's a pretty straightforward process. If you're attacking the leader and you inflict the damage, then you will take one of the life cards from the life area, and then that card, if it has any effect, is then triggered. Or if it's like a character card, apparently it just goes into your hand. From there, you have to eliminate all the life cards from your opponent and then attack them one more time for them to lose the game. So that is very similar to, say, Digimon, where you have to get rid of all 5 security and then make one more attack on the player directly to finish the game. From what I can see, the game doesn't seem overly complicated. I would like to actually see somebody go through and demonstrate everything to make sure that I'm personally understanding the rules the way it's meant to be coming across. Like I said, it seems pretty straightforward at that point, but you know, you never know what could be getting lost in translation with these Google Translate images. I've seen some people complaining already. They say that it's basically just Dragon Ball Super and Digimon having a baby, which, I mean, I personally enjoy Digimon. I haven't gotten into the Dragon Ball Super card game, but hopefully this game does come out to be fun. I think with Digimon, one of my favorite aspects is deck building, so I'm interested to see more of these cards get released to see how they interact with one another and see if what kind of strategies you'll be able to have when it comes to deck building, because I think deck building does make things a lot more interesting. If it's just one of those things where you're just slapping cards down and there's no real synergy within the deck other than they're the same colors, then that'll kind of be boring, and I do think that the game will kind of lose its luster. But hopefully it's not like that. Like I said, hopefully it's one of the games where it's a lot more strategic than what it might appear like it could be at face value, but only time will tell. One of my favorite aspects, I mentioned it a minute ago, is the counter step. I think that will be a fun little utility to be able to work with and or around, to know that if you attack, Your opponent could go for a block. You could counter their block, and then they could counter your counter. I mean, where does it end? So that'll be a fun aspect of the game, kind of picking and choosing when you try to spring these traps, so to speak. But it's for right now, I'm still excited. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm waiting for more information to come out to where we can kind of expand more upon the game and kind of see it in action at full speed. That'll be it for this video. I know it was a quick video. We just kind of ran through everything really quick. If you have any thoughts on the One Piece trading card game, please get in those comment sections below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to interact with people. Like I said, I'm still excited for the game. I can't wait for them to release more information to where we can kind of get a better feel for how the game will actually play. Like I said, I'm really interested to see how it comes to deck building and the synergies that the cards have with one another. But not to drown out for too long, so that'll do it for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.